Have you ever wondered why the children we expect to be the most successful are not always the ones who are there for us when we need them the most? In this video, we explore the deep and often hidden truths about family dynamics, caregiving, and the lasting impact of how we treat our loved ones. You'll discover why the children who may not have achieved the highest societal success often provide the greatest support in our later years. We will also delve into the crucial role of daughters-in-law and sons-in-law in maintaining family harmony and how parental favoritism can shape relationships for a lifetime. But that's not all. Stay with us until the end as we reveal 3 powerful methods to improve your family life, ensure happiness, and bring peace to your relationships. These insights could change the way you understand and nurture your family connections. Whether you're a parent, child, or spouse, this video will offer perspectives that can transform your relationships for the better. Don't miss out on these life-changing lessons that could lead to stronger, more fulfilling family bonds. Before we begin, I would appreciate it if you like this video. You can help me continue to spread the old age lesson. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like this video, please comment number 1. If you don't like it, comment number 0 to let me know so I can make a better video for you. Now let's get started. The first truth: truly reliable sons are often those without any major achievements in the journey of life. In the journey of parenthood, many parents naturally harbor dreams and aspirations for their children. They envision their little ones excelling in various domains, whether it be through academic achievements, professional milestones, or financial independence. With great pride, these parents share stories of their children's accomplishments, regaling friends and family with tales of top grades, prestigious job placements, and impressive salaries. In their eyes, these successful, high-achieving children represent the epitome of promise. They are perceived as the ones who will undoubtedly ensure their parents' well-being and care in their twilight years. However, as time unfolds its complex tapestry, the reality of life often diverges sharply from these optimistic expectations. When these children grow into adulthood, they frequently pursue grander ambitions, leaving the comforts of their hometowns behind. Some may even embark on journeys that take them across oceans in search of better opportunities, brighter futures, or new adventures. In the wake of their departures, a poignant and often heart-wrenching question arises: who will be there to care for the parents as they age, becoming frail and needing assistance? The unfortunate and painful answer is that, all too often, it is not the children whom their parents once considered their greatest pride. Strikingly, it is often those children who are less prominent in the eyes of society, those whose achievements may not shine as brightly, who end up remaining close to home. These individuals may not have ascended the corporate ladder to dazzling heights, nor have they achieved the kind of success that turns heads at family gatherings. Yet, they are the ones who remain rooted, staying near their parents, and providing a steadfast presence. Perhaps they did not venture off to distant lands or chase high-paying positions, and some may even find fulfillment in taking over their parents' modest professions, perpetuating family legacies. As the inevitable day arrives when their parents can no longer navigate daily life independently, it is these quiet, unassuming children who step forward to provide care and support. It becomes clear that what truly matters is not the glittering accolades or prestigious degrees, but rather the unwavering, loyal presence that these children offer. In the eyes of their aging parents, they are the true heroes, even if the broader world does not recognize or celebrate them as such. Countless parents find themselves grappling with the stark reality that their successful children, those who have carved out impressive lives far from home, are simply too distant, both physically and emotionally, to offer the kind of support they now require. While these accomplished children are busy forging their independent paths, they may inadvertently leave their parents facing the chilling grip of loneliness, deprived of the warmth of a familiar hand, or the comforting sound of a voice that understands their daily joys and struggles. Parents may experience feelings of abandonment, despite the glowing successes of their children. In contrast, it is often the child who may not have the world at their feet, who hasn't amassed great wealth or prestigious titles, who emerges as the steadfast support for their parents during life's most challenging moments. They may bring a warm meal, assist with a leisurely walk to the garden, or simply share the peaceful silence of a quiet afternoon. These seemingly small acts are imbued with deep significance and reflect a profound love that transcends material success. While they may not be able to offer lavish gifts or extravagant gestures, what they provide, time, care, and love, is immeasurably more valuable than anything money can buy. Even when they occasionally express frustration or fatigue, these devoted children do not turn their backs on their parents. Instead, they carve out space in their lives, however small, to nurture and support those who once lovingly cared for them. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 1 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. Conversely, successful children, despite their impressive careers and spacious homes, often find themselves overwhelmed by the demands of their professional lives. Endless meetings, rigorous work schedules, and a whirlwind of social commitments stretch them thin. As a result, making time for family becomes an increasingly daunting task. While they might send money or even arrange for caregiving services to assist their aging parents, deep down, we all recognize that money cannot substitute for the warmth of human connection. No material comfort can alleviate the longing for the presence of a child, a connection that elderly parents crave the most. What these parents yearn for transcends mere care. They seek love and companionship. They desire someone who can fill their hearts with a sense of belonging and closeness, an emotional bond that only family can provide. As we navigate the inevitable passage of time, a saying that may have once felt distant begins to resonate deeply. Neighbors are closer than distant relatives. In youth, it is easy to overlook the significance of this sentiment. However, as the challenges of old age set in, the truth of it becomes painfully clear. The nearby child, the one who may not have achieved monumental success in the eyes of society, often transforms into a vital lifeline. The simple act of delivering a meal, aiding in a short walk, or sharing a tranquil moment together becomes a profound gift. In these small, tender moments, parents find the greatest comfort and solace. Thus, we arrive at an essential understanding. The children who have achieved great heights in the world may not always be the most dependable caregivers for their aging parents. Sometimes it is the child who remains behind, whose success is measured not in wealth or titles, but in love and devotion, who becomes the most reliable source of support. Ultimately, what holds significance is not what society deems a success, but the heartfelt connection that exists between parents and children, a bond woven from the threads of love, loyalty, and presence. Parents may not always receive what they expect from their children, but if they are fortunate, they will find what they genuinely need. A child who, regardless of life's challenges, remains steadfastly by their side. The second truth, the importance of our daughters-in-law and sons-in-law. The second truth we must acknowledge is that no matter how wonderful our children may be, the attitudes and behaviors of our daughters-in-law and sons-in-law play a crucial role in family dynamics. When our children marry and embark on the journey of creating families of their own, we as parents can inadvertently erect an invisible barrier between our biological children and their spouses. This phenomenon often manifests as a tendency to view our children as the true, rightful members of the family, while their spouses are relegated to the status of outsiders, individuals we tolerate but do not wholeheartedly embrace. This bias, though frequently unintentional, can give rise to profound tensions within the family. It becomes all too easy for us to overprotect our grown children, even when they no longer require such guardianship. However, in doing so, we may unintentionally harm the very individuals who have entered into our children's lives, those who, like us, yearn for love, acceptance, and a sense of belonging within the family unit. How often do we, as parents, unwittingly alienate the very people we need the most? In our desire to protect our children, we may create an environment steeped in division rather than unity. When conflicts inevitably arise within our children's marriages, our instinct as parents may lead us to rally around our flesh and blood. We might find ourselves advising separation or even divorce, convinced that our children deserve better than their current situation. Yet, what we often fail to realize is that in our later years, when we find ourselves less able to care for our own needs, it won't be solely our biological children who shoulder the responsibility of looking after us. Without the cooperation, support, and goodwill of our daughters-in-law and sons-in-law, caring for us can become an overwhelming burden, one that threatens to strain even the most resilient family bonds. While it's relatively straightforward to shield and protect our children during their formative years, the reality is that as we age, we come to understand just how desperately we need the strength and support of an entire family, not just the children we have raised. There's an adage that resonates profoundly within this context. Sons belong to their mothers, but daughters will not stay home forever. This simple yet powerful phrase serves as a reminder that family dynamics evolve over time, and as parents, we must be willing to broaden our perspective to embrace our children's spouses fully. Our sons, who once relied on us for guidance and support, now have wives who shape their lives. Similarly, our daughters have husbands who become their partners in this journey called life. Clinging to the notion that only our biological children are deserving of our love and attention while sidelining their spouses is a recipe for disaster. If we, as parents, fail to open our hearts to our children's partners, we risk creating an environment fraught with tension, where even the most devoted children may begin to distance themselves, influenced by the very spouses we never fully accepted. The tight grip we once held on our children may loosen over time, leaving us with emotional distance instead of the closeness we desire. Consider the painful dilemmas that often arise, such as, if both my mother and my wife were drowning, who should I save first? This heart-wrenching scenario emphasizes the impossible choice that can place an individual in a deeply uncomfortable position between two of the most significant people in their life. Rather than forcing our children to make such agonizing choices between their parents and their spouses, the most constructive path forward lies in fostering cooperation, mutual understanding, and shared responsibility. When our daughters-in-law and sons-in-law feel genuinely respected and valued as integral members of the family, they are far more likely to step up willingly and lovingly to care for their aging in-laws. It's vital to remember that respect is a two-way street. Only through mutual acceptance and understanding can families truly unite in times of need. As we age, it becomes all too easy to harbor grudges or feelings of resentment toward our daughters-in-law or sons-in-law due to perceived slights or differences in values. We might feel that they lack respect for us or are not as committed to family life as we wish them to be. However, instead of clinging to these negative emotions, we must take a step back and reflect on our attitudes and behaviors. Are we guilty of holding on to biases, of failing to treat them as genuine family members? It's essential to recognize that emotions flow in multiple directions, and our expectations should never be one-sided. We must strive for understanding, empathy, and a willingness to bridge any gaps in our relationships, rather than placing blame. Even as we grow older and our physical abilities may wane, maintaining a positive and open-minded attitude can make all the difference in nurturing our familial bonds. While we can't control every aspect of our relationships, we do have power over how we approach them. By extending respect and understanding to all family members, especially our daughters-in-law and sons-in-law, we can cultivate an environment filled with harmony and love. It's never too late to initiate change. When we take the time to see things from their perspectives and appreciate the roles they play in our children's lives, we elevate ourselves to not just respected elders, but truly beloved family members. Building strong, loving relationships with our children's spouses is one of the most valuable gifts we can offer, not only to ourselves, but to our entire family. Instead of isolating ourselves through complaints or feelings of disconnect, we should actively work on nurturing these vital relationships. Let's not view them merely as extensions of our children, but rather as individuals with their strengths, challenges, and unique contributions to the family fabric. By fostering goodwill and cooperation, and treating our daughters-in-law and sons-in-law with the same love and care we show our children, we can help to create a family that stands united, even in the face of the challenges that come with aging and illness. Ultimately, it's not the bloodlines that determine a family's strength. Rather, it is the bonds of love and mutual respect that we nurture over time. These connections are the ties that will sustain us through life's journey, especially when we can no longer walk that path alone. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 2 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. The third truth: the consequences of parenting decisions manifest in later life. As parents journey through the seasons of life and enter the autumn years, the consequences of their earlier decisions and actions in raising their children begin to emerge with remarkable clarity. This phase marks a significant transition, a time when parents start to reap what they have sown, experiencing the tangible outcomes of the seeds they planted through their words, actions, and overall treatment of their children. However, it is often during these twilight years that they find themselves facing uncomfortable truths that can be difficult to confront. If parents exhibited favoritism, inequity, or neglect during their children's formative years, they are likely to encounter the painful repercussions of those past choices as they seek support from their grown children in their later years. Children who are excessively favored may struggle to navigate the complexities of adulthood, growing into individuals who are irresponsible, ungrateful, and ill-equipped to handle life's challenges. They may find themselves overly reliant on their parents, lacking the independence and resilience necessary to forge their paths and support themselves. Conversely, those children who experienced neglect or were treated unfairly in comparison to their siblings may harbor deep-seated feelings of resentment that linger long into adulthood. These emotional wounds, often buried beneath the surface during childhood, can fester and manifest as distance or even estrangement as adults. The emotional scars left by parental bias are not easily forgotten. They often resurface at inopportune moments, particularly when parents find themselves in desperate need of care and affection from their children. A poignant illustration of this truth can be found in the film Everything is Fine, which powerfully captures the disintegration of a family unable to maintain fairness in their relationships. In the story, Suiko, the younger son, grows up in a household where he is constantly compared to his older brother, feeling a profound absence of warmth and love from his mother that he desperately craved. Despite achieving success in his own right, the emotional scars from his childhood remain raw and unhealed. His older brother, on the other hand, was pampered and became overly dependent on their mother, ultimately failing to achieve much in life. This stark contrast in their experiences breeds a toxic undercurrent in their relationship, one filled with unspoken tensions. When their parents pass away, the long-suppressed issues explode to the surface. Each sibling places blame on the other for the unfair treatment they endured. Suiko is consumed by bitterness over the cold, distant treatment he suffered, while his brother grapples with the heavy burden of unmet expectations despite being favored. The result is a family left fractured, with lingering resentment and unresolved conflicts that persist long after their parents are gone. This heartbreaking narrative serves as a reflection of the deep instability that can take root within a family when parents fail to foster an environment of fairness and balance throughout their lives. The effects of parental bias, favoritism, or neglect extend far beyond childhood. They echo through the years, often surfacing at the most critical junctures when parents are vulnerable and in dire need of their children's assistance in old age. As parents reach a point where they can no longer care for themselves, the imbalances created by their past treatment of their children become glaringly apparent. This realization can create barriers to fostering the love, unity, and cooperation essential for elder care. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons resonate with you, please comment 2 below to let me know you're still engaged. Navigating emotions is inherently challenging. No parent is perfect, and it is natural for relationships with children to ebb and flow over time. Nonetheless, it is crucial for parents to strive for equilibrium, ensuring that each child feels valued, supported, and loved. Unfortunately, Many parents come to this realization too late. It is often only when they find themselves physically weakened, unable to walk or care for themselves, that they begin to comprehend the emotional toll their past choices have exacted on their family. They may look back with regret, wishing they had exhibited greater fairness, addressed conflicts, and cultivated an environment where all their children felt equally important and cherished. Instead of experiencing the support and cohesion of a united family during their time of need, they may find themselves surrounded by emotional exhaustion and fractured relationships. In their reflections on later life, parents often feel a profound sense of regret, recognizing that their earlier choices have drained the emotional reserves within the family. What should have been a source of love and energy has instead led to disillusionment, bitterness, and the erosion of family unity. By the time parents require their children's support the most, the well of emotional support may have already run dry. They are left to confront their final years with a deep sense of sorrow and longing for what could have been. Ultimately, the changes that parents experience in their relationships with their children as they age serve as a direct reflection of the seeds they planted in their children's hearts over the years. If those seeds were sown with love, fairness, and understanding, the resulting harvest would be one of mutual care and support. Conversely, if those seeds were sown with bias, neglect, or unfairness, the outcome would bring only distance, resentment, and regret. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 3 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. Final thoughts from the author. In the grand journey of life, it is all too easy to become so immersed in the present that we overlook the importance of preparing for the future, anticipating the inevitable shifts that accompany aging. Midlife should not be a time for complacency. Rather, it should prompt us to thoughtfully consider the future, especially the days when our health may decline and we might find ourselves relying on others more than we would like. We must confront the reality that life does not stand still. It moves forward relentlessly, and in doing so, we must acknowledge that true peace in our later years comes not from avoiding these truths, but from preparing for them, emotionally, mentally, and relationally. There's a powerful story about a farmer who was deeply crushed by the relentless weight of poverty. In the depths of his despair, he looked up to the heavens and cried out to God, "Why must I live my entire life with nothing?" This anguished plea resonated with his feelings of hopelessness and longing for a better existence. In response to his heartfelt cry, God presented him with a tempting deal. "If you truly feel you have nothing, I will give you 10,000 gold pieces, but in return, I will take away your wife, your children, and the rest of your days." Faced with this harsh and life-altering proposition, the farmer fell silent, struck by a profound realization that began to wash over him. At that moment, he understood that he didn't truly have anything. He had everything that truly mattered in life. He had his beloved family, the relationships that filled his heart with love and warmth, and the precious gift of time spent together. It dawned on him that he had only failed to see their immense value until the threat of losing them loomed dangerously close. This poignant story serves as a profound reminder that, at times, true happiness is not found in the distant dreams we chase, but rather in the blessings we already hold close to our hearts. How often do we find ourselves consumed by a yearning for more wealth, more success, more recognition, only to overlook the beauty of what is right in front of us? The people we love, the moments of peace we experience, and the small, seemingly insignificant things that bring us joy are treasures that can easily be taken for granted. True fulfillment doesn't arise from a life of perfection, but rather from the gratitude we cultivate for the imperfect yet precious gifts we already possess. Whether we are young and ambitious, bursting with dreams and aspirations, or older and reflecting on the paths we've walked, the key to contentment lies in appreciating the here and now. Life will inevitably present us with challenges, imperfections, and moments of doubt that can cloud our perspective. However, if we can learn to value what we have today, our families, our health, our time spent with loved ones, we open ourselves to real happiness. This is the kind of happiness that isn't dependent on chasing elusive dreams, but is rooted in treasuring what is already ours. As we navigate through the various stages of life, the wisdom we gain along the way should guide us toward a deeper understanding of what truly matters. Instead of seeking perfection or constantly striving for more, let us strive to teach ourselves and future generations to embrace the intrinsic value of the present moment. Only then can we discover the lasting peace and happiness that come from within, the kind that strengthens families, deepens relationships, and makes our days, regardless of their length, truly meaningful. By fostering this mindset, we can transform our lives into a rich tapestry of gratitude and love, celebrating the moments that truly define our existence. 3 methods to change fate and improve life. 1. Change your words. How we communicate profoundly shapes our lives, particularly within the family unit. Our words hold incredible power. They can uplift and inspire or tear down and discourage. Speaking with kindness, especially to your children, and using language that reflects love, patience, and understanding can create an atmosphere of harmony that resonates well into old age. Consider how your choice of words affects your family dynamics. When you foster an environment of gentle communication, you nurture relationships built on mutual respect and affection. As we age, this nurturing becomes even more crucial. By consciously letting go of anger and choosing to speak kindly, you do more than just alleviate tension at the moment. You establish a lasting foundation of respect and love that equips your family to navigate the challenges life may present. The impact of positive communication can echo throughout generations, helping to build a legacy of compassion and understanding. Number 2, change your mindset. Life is unpredictable and often does not unfold according to our expectations, particularly regarding how we perceive the treatment we receive from others. Instead of holding on to the belief that everyone must treat you perfectly, find solace in the understanding that even a single person's care for you can make all the difference. Family dynamics are not static, they evolve, and it is natural for relationships to experience imbalances and conflicts. By relinquishing the desire for everything to be flawless and embracing the imperfections of life with grace, you liberate yourself from the burdens of bitterness and resentment. Clinging to grudges only serves to deepen your emotional pain, while learning to let go becomes essential to cultivating a peaceful heart. Accepting the reality of life's imperfections allows you to find joy in the present and fosters a sense of resilience that empowers you to face whatever challenges come your way. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 4 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. 3. Change your relationships. As we grow older, actively maintaining our relationships becomes increasingly vital. It's easy to let pride or resentment create barriers between ourselves and those we care about, but it's important to recognize the value of connection. Reach out to loved ones, nurture those bonds, and be willing to set aside your ego for the sake of meaningful interactions. By actively cultivating close ties with family, friends, and even neighbors, you enhance the likelihood of receiving support and companionship when you need it most. Remember, a humble heart, one that is open to asking for help and accepting it when offered, is a heart that will never feel isolated. In fostering these relationships, you not only enrich your own life, but also create a network of love and support that can carry you through the inevitable ups and downs of life. Next, I would like to share a deeply impactful story that beautifully illustrates the challenges and valuable lessons many of us can relate to in our own lives. Yuko's experience serves as a poignant reminder of how family dynamics can shift and evolve in unexpected, sometimes painful ways. Yuko had an older brother, and for some time she lived with her mother and grandfather at her brother's house. However, this living arrangement was fraught with tension. Yuko's mother frequently called her in tears, expressing her frustrations about how her son and his wife were not providing the care she needed. The emotional strain between Yuko's mother and her brother's wife escalated to a point where, feeling overwhelmed and unable to cope with the situation any longer, her brother's wife made the difficult decision to send their mother back to Yuko's family home. This unexpected turn of events forced Yuko to make a significant sacrifice. She had to quit her job and return to her hometown to care for her aging mother. At the outset, Yuko approached this new responsibility with unwavering love and patience. It is often said that daughters tend to be more compassionate and sensible than their sons, and Yuko's actions certainly supported this idea. She dedicated herself to listening to her mother, preparing nutritious meals, giving her massages, and even sleeping beside her on numerous occasions throughout the night to tend to her needs. Yet, as time passed, a heartbreaking truth began to unfold. No matter how much Yuko sacrificed for her mother's well-being, her mother's behavior grew increasingly negative. Instead of expressing gratitude for Yuko's devoted care, her mother began to criticize her harshly. She claimed that Yuko wasn't doing enough and went so far as to forbid her from contacting her husband and children. This emotional burden became unbearable for Yuko, particularly when she learned that her mother was speaking ill of her to others, claiming that Yuko didn't love her despite all her efforts and sacrifices. As the tension mounted, Yuko's mother continued to sow discord within the family, creating a situation where unhappiness reigned. Neither Yuko nor her siblings could find solace. In her final years, Yuko's mother began to regret how she had treated her sons and daughters-in-law. However, by that time, the damage to their family relationships had already been done, leaving scars that would take time and effort to heal. This story imparts a powerful lesson. Family harmony can only be preserved when we cultivate communication rooted in love, relinquish unrealistic expectations, and take responsibility for our actions. Ultimately, Yuko's journey serves as a reminder that transforming our words, mindset, and relationships is essential for improving our lives and enhancing the lives of those we cherish. Holding on to pride, anger, or resentment only fosters distance between ourselves and our family. The sooner we learn to release these burdensome feelings, the more likely we are to forge meaningful, lasting connections that will help us navigate life's inevitable challenges together. As people age, the dynamics between parents and children often shift, sometimes in ways that feel bittersweet. Elderly individuals, especially when their health begins to decline, can become particularly anxious and sensitive about their changing abilities and the roles they once held in the family. The fear of losing independence, combined with the yearning for attention and care from their children, creates a complex emotional landscape. On one hand, elderly parents long for connection and comfort. On the other, they may feel an overwhelming need to assert their independence or even distance themselves from their children, fearing they might become a burden. This emotional push and pull can lead to tension, particularly when elderly parents begin to speak ill of their children to others. This behavior, though perhaps stemming from frustration, only serves to widen the gap between them, reducing the children's willingness to engage with their aging parents. Risa's story serves as a powerful example of the complexities inherent in caregiving and the emotional toll it can take on both a parent and a child. At 51, Risa had spent countless years single-handedly caring for her mother, who had suffered severe injuries when she broke her legs several years prior. This injury, coupled with her mother's growing confusion and cognitive decline, left Risa in a constant state of worry and vigilance. Her mother frequently mistook Risa for her younger brother, a heartbreaking reminder of the mental decline that can accompany aging. Despite these emotional hardships, Risa devoted herself wholeheartedly to her mother's care. She prepared thoughtful, nutritious meals, such as minced meat and pasta, every day, ensuring that her mother was well fed and comfortable. To provide additional peace of mind, Risa even installed security cameras throughout their home, anxiously checking her phone throughout the day to ensure her mother didn't fall or injure herself while she was away. The emotional and physical toll of this responsibility weighed heavily on Risa, yet her dedication to her mother remained unwavering. This level of caregiving did not come without immense sacrifice, deeply affecting every aspect of Risa's life in ways she had never anticipated. She made the monumental decision to quit her high-paying job, fully dedicating herself to the complex and often overwhelming needs of her mother. This choice, while rooted in love and devotion, cost her dearly, not only taking away her flourishing career, but also significantly impacting her personal life. Over more than a decade, Risa's marriage, once vibrant and full of promise, gradually deteriorated under the weight of her caregiving responsibilities, ultimately leading to its heartbreaking dissolution. Several subsequent relationships also faltered and ended, each one strained by the relentless demands of caregiving that left little room for a personal connection or romantic intimacy. This tragic reality is all too common among caregivers, who often find themselves caught in a painful tug-of-war between their profound sense of duty to care for their ailing parents and their own inherent desire for a fulfilling, independent life. Risa's love and unwavering dedication to her mother were undeniably profound. She poured her heart and soul into ensuring her mother felt cared for and cherished during a challenging time. However, the emotional toll she bore was incredibly heavy, weighing down her spirit and leaving her feeling isolated and exhausted. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons valuable, I encourage you to take a moment to comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me, engaged in this important conversation about the realities of caregiving. Risa's story serves as a powerful lens through which we can examine the multifaceted challenges faced by family caregivers. Despite being one of 5 children, it was Risa who stepped up to take on the primary caregiving role for her mother. Her second sister, concerned about Risa's future well-being and quality of life, felt compelled to voice her worries about Risa spending her entire life in this caregiving role. She proposed several alternative solutions, such as inviting their mother to live in her own home or exploring the option of placing her in a nursing facility that could provide specialized care. This suggestion stemmed from a place of genuine love and concern. At 70 years old, her second sister was already managing the immense challenges of caring for her ailing husband and was acutely aware of the heavy burden that caregiving could impose on one's life. She had witnessed firsthand the emotional and physical toll it could take, and her heart ached for Risa, who she felt was sacrificing too much for the sake of their mother. However, Risa felt a profound sense of duty. As the youngest sibling, she believed it was her responsibility to care for their mother, particularly since she felt less tied down by obligations to her daughter. For Risa, this caregiving role wasn't just a duty. It felt like her calling, a meaningful way to give back to the woman who had nurtured her and shaped her life. Her second sister, while understanding Risa's motivations, ultimately conceded that Risa was the most suitable choice to continue caring for their mother. Even though this conclusion was bittersweet for both siblings, tinged with a sense of loss for what could have been. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 5 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. These narratives highlight the intricate emotional complexities that often accompany caregiving in old age. Elderly parents, while seeking care and companionship, must also be mindful of the profound sacrifices their children make in their support. When tensions inevitably arise, something that occurs frequently in caregiver relationships, both parents and children must cultivate an atmosphere of open communication and understanding. For elderly parents, expressing frustration or disappointment about their children can lead to further misunderstandings and rifts, making it increasingly difficult for their children to provide the care and support they desperately need. At the same time, children like Risa face the challenging task of navigating the delicate balance between honoring their parents' needs and protecting their own emotional and mental well-being. This balance can often feel precarious, as the weight of responsibility can lead to feelings of resentment, guilt, and burnout. Ultimately, these relationships require a foundation of patience, empathy, and mutual respect. Parents should strive to genuinely appreciate the efforts their children make, recognizing that each act of care comes with its own emotional cost. Meanwhile, children must establish healthy boundaries to protect their well-being, ensuring they can continue to provide care without sacrificing their happiness and fulfillment. Caregiving, when approached with love and understanding, can strengthen the bond between parent and child, fostering a deeper connection built on trust and mutual respect. However, it demands ongoing emotional investment from both sides. As we reflect on the stories and lessons shared today, it becomes evident that the relationships between elderly parents and their children are both beautiful and intricate, filled with moments of joy, but also marked by challenges that require careful navigation. From the sacrifices endured by caregivers to the critical importance of communication and mutual respect, these experiences remind us of the necessity of fostering understanding and empathy within our families. They serve as poignant reminders of the complexities of love and duty, urging us to consider how we can support one another in our familial roles. Now we would love to hear from you. What insights have you gained from these stories and reflections? Please share one key takeaway and how you plan to implement it in your own life, helping to create a more supportive environment for both caregivers and those they care for. As we reach the end of this video, we hope you've gained valuable insights into the complexities of family dynamics, caregiving, and the importance of love and support in our later years. Now, we'd love to hear from you. What have you learned so far? Please take a moment to reflect and comment below, sharing one thing you've learned and how you plan to bring it into practice in your own life. If you liked this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more heartfelt stories and valuable life lessons. Your support means the world to us, and we look forward to continuing this journey together.